Hello and welcome to another episode of Hooks, Snits, and Dice. I'm Leela Croca. I'm having a little trouble with my tongue today, so I'm enunciating sloppily. I apologize for that. I will begin with telling you that my daughter has decided to be a witch for Halloween this year, which is funny because I had just shared a picture of us when she was 4 years old that she and I were both witches, and she was pretty excited about that. So she's done a photo shoot with her friend Sunday, and I told her that instead of being a fairy, as I had planned for this year, I will dress up as a witch too, and we should recreate the photo, and that's going to be super cute. Tommy's agreed to be my photographer. He's out buying props as we speak. I don't have a cauldron here. I had one in the US, but I don't have one here. I don't hold out hopes for there actually being a cauldron here for him to buy, but it's worth a check. We can also check in Oslo if we have to at the costume shop. But I really need a cauldron in my life, whether metal or plastic, just something for at least a prop. But yeah, so she's the Dark Maiden. I will be the Mother of the Hearth, and I've allowed Tommy's mom to make the fur band that I had shown you guys, the faux fur band. It was hard to unclench and let someone else do that for me. I usually like to do my own stuff when it comes to costuming because then I can guarantee that it's done when I want it to be and it's done the way I want it to be. But I trust his mom, so I unclenched and said, okay, if you want to, please do. It'll save me some time and, of course, effort on my wrists. My wrists are pretty bad this week. I made polymer clay stitch markers on polymer clay on wire. They are cabochon and gem cut pieces of polymer clay. It's kind of hard to show them. They look better in person, quite obviously. Yeah, so there's lots of different shapes, and I've bent the wire ends. It's hard to show on this camera, but they're loops so that they don't snag on your yarn when you're working with yarn. And I am giving these babies away. I'm going to put these back in the bag I had them in. Get in there. Come on. I meant to make 43, I meant to make 40. I ended up making 43. I don't know how, but I did. So I have a giveaway through Rafflecopter. You do need to sign in with your Facebook account or use your email, but that's the only information, and I don't get that information other than unless you win. So I don't sell your information. I don't think they sell your information. You can find out what their privacy policies are. There are several ways to win. I'm going to put the link below so you guys can click on that and enter the giveaway, and you will get those fabulous 43 stitch markers if you win. Lots of fun. Last year's giveaway, I had a coupon for my Etsy shop, but since Tommy's building my website for me, I will be selling directly through my site, I believe, so that'll eliminate the need for the Etsy shop. And I've also gotten some yarn from a good friend. We had a fun Saturday at their house. This is Bulky by Borgo de Pazzi. It's Italian wool, and it's 2% cotton. The little white that you can't see yet. There we go. The little white threads holding the wool is cotton. So very feltable. It's soft. It works up quick. And this is the other color. I got 2 skeins of each color. And then she threw in a pastel rainbow cake of, I think, acrylic. Yeah, 80% acrylic and 20% wool. That's an unusual combination, but it's soft and it's pretty. Excuse me, I will find a use for it. And I made not pot holders. I made a trivet with the Italian wool and with some little balls, yay big. Let me show you how big. If I can find a ball. About this big, little scrap yarn. I'm making ball toys for my friend's cat. So you can see I've got one half made here. And if you look closely, you can see it's 3 different colors of blue, shades of blue. So I'm just making halves, and then when we get to her house, I'll stuff them and put the catnip in, because she's got catnip. and the kitty will just be in kitty heaven. My husband's pattern arrived, so I can make his bowling shirt. I'm making B. That's not B, that's B, right there. Not with the red, of course, but with the silver. And no pocket. I am so sorry. I've been froggy these past few weeks. So yeah, I've got his fabric washing. I've got the fabric for my matching dress washing. And then I've already washed... No, I washed the fabric for my dress. What I'm washing is fabric for my cape, for my Halloween costume, because I'm going to be a witch, as I mentioned. Sorry, patterns are getting in my way. Sorry. So, let's see. I've got the charms. Oh, my brother-in-law is coming over relatively soon with a 3D printer he's selling us. So I will be able to print out, I hope. I can't really cross my fingers. I have to do this, you know. Anyway, I hope that I can find I don't know if they call them patterns. I don't know what they call them. But anyway, a way to 3D print stitch marker bases. And I can do polymer clay over them, because it's going to be a kind of plastic that won't melt in the oven, hopefully. And then I can customize stitch markers, and I plan on making some really cute ones to sell at the Christmas market. So be on the lookout for that. I will post pictures as that comes and happens. And then, like I said, once the website's up, you guys can buy from me directly, so that'll be awesome. I'm looking around to see what I haven't told you. Oh, I made a stamp. Let me find the paper Come on. Aha. You probably have seen it if you follow me on any of my social media, especially Facebook. I used linoleum and cut a stylized version of the wolf feather heart that I made our family crest. And this is my personal logo, so if you see clothing with that logo on it, or other items, then you'll know that I made it by hand and I sold it, and so it's an original. And I'm pretty excited about that. He gave me a set with 2 sheets of linoleum this size, plus a cutting tool with 2 tips, and basic instructions, but I know how to carve, period. I can carve wood, I can carve rubber, I can carve clay, you know, you name it, I can carve it. So I already had the basics down. So it was fairly easy to do. I was pretty excited by it. I'm going to make some more stamps that I will be offering for sale, of course, at the Christmas market. And, you know, generally I'll just be building stock this autumn. The rest of this autumn, I should say. We're pretty well into it. Not so much the crocheted and knit stuff, because that's all anybody makes and sells here, it seems. More along the lines of the jewelry, the stitch markers, t-shirts, what do you call them? Reflective gear, that sort of thing with our logo on it. I will have temporary tattoos, little pins, buttons, and silicone bands that 50, 100, and 400 and up purchases, you get one of those free. So, you know, try to gain some traction here locally. Goodwill with the community. Of course, anything that I do with Pride, I will be donating to local, you know, efforts to help people who are discriminated against or have been cast out from their homes, or whatever sort of trauma has been inflicted upon them. I intend to reach out and lend a hand wherever I can. So, last Thursday, we were in the dungeon crawl. Nope, excuse me. Last Sunday, we were in the dungeon crawl. And our monk died. He was murdered, essentially. We were fighting an enemy, and my character's niece had an immovable rod, which I'd given her the idea to stand in front of, because there was a hallway that blew you towards a set of hidden spikes. and we were using it to defeat one of the enemies. So she was tripping the trap, and then for whatever reason, the monk decided to go help her, so he was standing behind her, and he wanted to throw a dart to trigger the trap to send the armor flying into the spikes. But he rolled badly, and he threw the dart into her thigh instead. So she decided she was going to pick him up and use him to trigger the trap. So then he decided, well, if you're going to do that, I'm going to release the immovable rod, and so all three of them flew into the spikes. She managed to get away, used the immovable rod to brace herself, and when one of the acidic slimes we were fighting came into the hallway, she triggered the trap, and our monk got trapped inside the not acidic slime, that's Magic the Gathering, gelatinous cube. And so he was unable to breathe inside the gelatinous cube, and then impaled upon the spikes with the armor. Ay, ay, ay. He ended up dying. He did not survive the encounter, and it was his first character. So I was glad that they didn't chicken out from following through on what their characters would have done. But, sad that his first character had died. Sorry, I'm itchy. Baby hairs. But Thursday was a TPK, total party kill. Except for one character, because our player was at home with his brand new bebe. So, yeah, we were in the woods fighting the good guys, because we played the bad guys in this campaign. And we all died, even my horse. But my horse was given permission by the DM to get some last kicks in before he was destroyed by the good guy. And he was a combat-trained warhorse. And I rolled in such a way for my horse that he did the second most damage out of any of us to this guy. It was so sad. We were terrible. We all kept rolling terribly, or they had damage reduction or resistance, or they succeeded on their saves. It was a slaughter. We tried. We really tried. I even had a wand of Cure Light Wounds, I believe. And I was stabbing the guys that could take... Because if you use that on my character, who's a half-human, half-Dhampir, that actually wounds her. Because, it's Cure Light Wounds, not inflict wounds or whatever. I don't remember what it is that's supposed to heal her. I think it's channel dark energy or something. Negative energy. Anyway, so she was running around healing people, but it wasn't enough. And, of course, being a cleric, I didn't have much in the way of... I think I had access to 6 spells, but either I would roll poorly or they would succeed on their saves, and so damage would just bounce off of them. Excuse me. But it turned out, and this was the end of the first book in the series, in the, not series, but story arc, let's say. It turned out I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but basically, yeah, we're all dead. Except for Frederick's character. He's gonna go, what the heck happened? I don't know, it was crazy. Had a lot of fun. And, I'm still looking forward to the birthday bowling bash. And then, of course, Halloween. We're gonna do Drunk Magic. So, it's gonna be a full month. It already is a full month. I'm pretty worn out. It's hard for me to get out and exercise because I'm already worn down from just organizing events and getting all the clothing made. But like I said, the nice thing is Tommy can wear his bowling shirt as his Halloween costume, so it doubles up. It's great. Then he doesn't have to worry about getting a costume, and he's not a costume guy anyway, so this is an easy solution. Yeah, it's pretty epic. I can loan him my brace because a lot of bowlers wear those, so I know it's cheesy, but it'll work. It'll work. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.